Today I'm going to share with you two little stories concerning something called cinematic immunity. Hi, I'm Thaw. I own a company called Canadian Classic Auto Supply. I've been heavily involved in the automotive world for the past 30 years, and from 2002 to 2008 I was involved in the film industry. Predominantly I was involved with picture cars, and a lot of the stories I have from that area are involving picture cars. Today I'm going to share with you two little stories concerning something called cinematic immunity. Now, cinematic immunity is one of those things everyone talks about, but until you actually experience it, it's kind of like the first time you went to In-N-Out Burger and ordered animal fries. You knew you were getting something special, but you didn't know quite what it was going to be until the plate showed up in front of you. Well, the first time I experienced cinematic immunity was in about 2004. We were working with a production that wanted to buy one of our older picture cars. It was a late 70s, early 80s Dodge short box pickup truck with a 318 in it, an automatic transmission. And what they wanted to do with the truck was run it back through some dirt roads in the backcountry and use it for a lot of drifts and slides. And the reason they were buying it from us was because they weren't sure if the vehicle was going to survive production. They were prepared to total it out and keep it. So we made arrangements with the stunt coordinator to come down to our shop. We were in a bit of an industrial area, just a little outside of town. And since our little industrial park got pretty quiet after 5 o'clock, we made arrangements for him to come by around 6. We checked over the vehicle before he got there, but him being who he was, he checked it over again. And all he asked us to do was to adjust a couple of the tire pressures a little bit to make it more to his liking. We got into the truck and we started driving around a little industrial park, letting the truck warm up. And he seemed to be pretty happy with it in 10-15 minutes, just kind of puttering around 20, 30, 40 miles an hour, just letting the truck do its thing. And after he felt the truck was warmed up sufficiently, he turned to me and he asked, seatbelt on? I looked at him, yeah. He goes, hang on. And he hits it. He puts that pedal to the floor and that little 318 sprung to life. It looks like the old girl still had a little bit of dance left in her. And this industrial park was pretty dead, but it had beautiful wide flat streets with big wide intersections. And we're coming up to a corner and he said, okay, hang on. And he sets the truck up for a beautiful drift slide through this industrial park corner. He tossed the rear end of that little 318 short box truck out so far, the tires were squealing, the truck was just hanging out like you wouldn't believe. I had never believed that truck had that much jam left in her. So he gets the truck straightened out and we're going down the road about 40-50 miles an hour. He goes, hang on, we're gonna hit the brakes. And he pegs the brakes, slides the truck to a stop, and just as the truck stops moving forward, he slips the shifter into reverse. He goes, hang on, here we go. Into reverse it goes. That solid 727 hits reverse with a bang, tires light up in smoke, truck goes backwards. He goes, hang on, here we go again. And he flicks the steering wheel and pulls off the perfect Rockford. As soon as the front end of the truck swings around, we're greeted with the red and blue flashing lights from the local police department. So we slid to a stop and we got told over to our loudspeaker to get out of the truck and put our hands on the hood. So we looked at each other and realized this might be a little bit of trouble. We got out of the truck, put the hands on the hood, and the police officer starts walking towards us. Older police officer, obviously well serviced, well been in the industry for a long time. Takes one look at the stunt coordinator and goes, when are you ever gonna grow up? The stunt coordinator looks at him and smiles and goes, when you stop being a jerk. He goes, never. So obviously these two gentlemen had a long history with each other, and they kind of talked and joked a little bit. I'm still standing there with my hands on the blazing hot hood. And the two guys exchange a couple of quick stories, and he goes, look, just don't act the fool in the industrial park anymore, just keep it calm. So that was clearly cinematic immunity in play. We got back in the truck, we went back to the office, and he okayed the truck for production. The next time I experienced cinematic immunity, it was me who was playing the card. It was about late 2004, early 2005, and we're working with a production. They wanted to rent, I had a Datsun 240Z, orange, black interior, 4-speed, and it had a beautiful set of Weber carburetors on it, and a Zebro exhaust. That thing sounded amazing. It was period correct, perfect 240Z. And they wanted to use it for production. Call time was 5 a.m. on a Sunday in downtown Vancouver. Well, I lived in downtown Vancouver, so I took the car home with me Saturday night, and I parked it securely in my underground. and at 4 o'clock in the morning I fired the Datsun up, and I was making my way to set, and on the way to set there's a viaduct that goes through the center of downtown Vancouver. It's about a little over a quarter mile long, and it's dead straight and flat and smooth. And at the beginning of it is a painfully long intersection. The light cycles forever. And I'm sitting there at the red light, and the motor is burbling, the temperature is good, oil pressure is fantastic, the roads are perfectly dry, the sun's coming up. And I realize, if not now, when? As soon as the light turned green, I revved it up and dropped the clutch, and I launched this little Datsun. Power shifted first to second, second to third. The motor just sang the beautiful song, and the only thing I was really disturbing at 4:30 in the morning in Vancouver at that time was the pigeons on the bridge. But time for the fun to end, and the bridge was coming up to an end, so it was time for me to take my foot out of the throttle and start slowing down. And as I took the turnoff at the end of the viaduct, I was greeted with the familiar sight of red and blue flashing lights. It seemed the production had hired a police officer to control traffic. Well, at 4:30 in the morning on a Sunday, I am the only traffic. He kind of flagged me to come up to where he was standing, and he didn't look any too happy. He asked me what I was thinking about pulling that little stunt. I went, it's just me. It's a picture car. And I gotta admit, it sounded pretty good. And he goes, yeah, but you're lucky it's a picture car, because if it was a regular citizen, this thing would have been on the back of a tow truck and your license would have been gone. I thanked him for his lenience, and he flagged me through the roadblock to park the picture car, and locked up the car in the picture car lockup, put the keys on the tire, and went over and got my burrito breakfast from production. And production loved the car. They absolutely loved the car. They used it several times in several different episodes, and I kept the car for a while after, and I later sold it to a good enthusiast who's probably still got the car now. But that little Datsun was fun that morning. 4:30, sun coming up, dry straight road. You would have done the same thing. Well, I'm Louis Thaw from Canadian Classic Auto Supply, and thank you for watching.
Dun dun dun! It's Captain Chaos. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Hey, and while you're at it, why don't you comment down on one of the videos below and tell them Captain Chaos sent you?